Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Got a few stories to share with you in this very latest Moon Lambo Hard Jam. And I'll start with this one from the Crypto Basic. Will SEC settle with Ripple today as regulator holds closed door meetings? Yeah, lots of speculation going on social media today. Then there's also this one. This is from You Today. Ripple CLO, Chief Legal Officer, hints that SEC may lose if Ripple case taken to Supreme Court, so that's still potentially in the cards. And then there's also this from the Crypto Basic. XRP Army panics as Binance suspended XRP withdrawals via XRPL. We'll talk about it, and I'll say this too. I'll show you why many in the community are speculating that today's closed-door SEC meeting is an indication that Ripple and the SEC are about to settle. But I personally don't think that this is the case. We'll see. Now, of course, with my luck, by the time this damn thing gets uploaded, it will have happened, and then I just look like a damn fool, and then everybody unsubscribe. But I don't find that to be particularly probable. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so just as a little table setting, or as a reminder, maybe recall this. This was from November 22nd from the Crypto Basic. SEC upcoming closed-door meeting sparks expectation of possible settlement in Ripple case. And I don't need to read the article, but they reference this page from the actual SEC website. It's a Sunshine Act notice of a meeting occurring today, 2:15 p.m. So it's already done. By the time I'm recording this, it's over. And here's the thing: even if this is something that would result in settlement, which again I don't think is going to be what happens, but even if it's what happens, it doesn't mean we'd get the news breaking today. Although it could, in theory, I'll cede the point. It in theory could be kind of decided today. And so here, that's again the meeting time, 2:15 p.m. on Thursday, November 30th, 2023. And then they go on, I don't want to read this whole thing, but they go on to cite the subject matter that's going to be discussed. Here it is, I'm highlighting on the screen if you want to read it. The relevant portion to us would be this bullet point right here. Institution and settlement of injunctive actions, and then the next one, institution and settlement of administrative proceedings. So this isn't something that's specific to Ripple, but I can understand, and it's reasonable to speculate, might this have something to do with Ripple? And so perhaps Ripple will be discussed. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. It's just a question of, is there going to be some sort of settlement here? Which brings us to the article that was published earlier today. Will SEC settle with Ripple today? The SEC's closed-door meeting slated for today has stirred a wave of speculation about a potential settlement in the ongoing legal tussle about Ripple. For many cryptocurrency investors, today, November 30th, is just every other day in the crypto market. I think they mean just like every other day in the crypto market. However, it's crypto media, folks. However, several XRP holders see November 30th, 2023 as the day that could birth the resolution of the SEC v. Ripple lawsuit. As reported earlier, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has scheduled its closed meeting door, blah, blah, blah. According to an announcement, all SEC commissioners and other top officials are expected to attend the meeting, which is scheduled to be held at the commission's headquarters in Washington, D.C. Notably, SEC officials who cannot physically attend the meeting can do so remotely. One of the meeting's main agendas is to discuss the settlement of injunctive actions and other administrative proceedings. Although the SEC did not mention the Ripple lawsuit in the announcement, the idea of a closed-door meeting and the discussion of potential resolution of injunctive actions have stirred speculations among XRP enthusiasts. Several XRP community members speculate that the securities regulator might decide to end its protracted legal battle with Ripple via settlement. Since the SEC charged Ripple with violating federal securities laws in December 2020, the commission has not signaled any intention to reach a compromise with the blockchain company. Instead, it has gone all out against Ripple, hoping to get a flawless victory against the firm in court. Okay, so I have no qualms with anybody wondering if Ripple might be discussed or if that might be on the table. I'll just say that, again, my personal opinion is that that ship is pretty well sailed at this point. I mean, maybe something happens and we get lucky at some point, but even if that's the case, I'm skeptical of that. Look at how the SEC's been posturing recently. I mean, they already lost on the core thing, the thing that matters most, XRP, XRP's legal status. It's not a security, so they already lost there. What do they have to lose pushing further? Well, I mean, if they're gonna, I don't want to go too far into this, but obviously there are certain things that could be cemented if they take this up to the next level. But to what degree does it even matter to us at this point? Because XRP, they said that they're not even going to seek appellate review on that. The SEC said that. So if you're just talking about, institutional versus programmatic sales, well, Ripple can push back too. So what's the real incentive at this point? I mean, and look, Ripple is postured in such a way, and I don't think it's just posturing. I mean, they're serious about this. The idea of going to the Supreme Court, which leads us to this, the headline again from you today. XRP case between Ripple and SEC could be settled today. That's the wrong way. Ripple CLO hints that SEC may lose if Ripple case taken to Supreme Court. Chief Legal Officer at Ripple Labs, Stuart Alderoty, has issued an X post that clearly hints that Alderoty believes the SEC is likely to lose its legal battle against Ripple. However, this may happen only if Ripple takes the case onto the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, I mean, yeah, if it comes to it, I don't know that Ripple's going to be pushing for that, but I mean, they will fight it. They will fight the fight if that's what it comes to, and they'll win. If it actually comes to it, and again, the XRP legal clarity. Look, the SEC isn't seeking to have that change, so I think we're good there. But here is a post from Stuart Alderoty. He shared a screen grab here. I can make this full screen for you. It's from the Wall Street Journal. So he wrote, today's Wall Street Journal, quote, "The Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled against the SEC in recent years," end quote. And then he says, "The SEC is anything but infallible. It is bloated, broken, and beleaguered. Don't be intimidated when they come knocking." Yes. Yes, on all counts. Absolutely. And here's what Attorney John Deaton had to say about that. He actually reposted it and said, "I remember when I sued the SEC and some people said, 'You're crazy.' Why? The SEC is only good at one thing, intimidating people, because they have the unlimited resources of the American taxpayer. And some people also get intimidated because maybe fighting the SEC will mean the SEC calls the IRS on you as well. This country was born fighting against government oppression and intrusion. It is most American to fight back." Yeah, so I don't think that Attorney Deaton was particularly worried about that. I think he was like the rest of us and pretty damn pissed off with the egregious overreaching of the SEC. Now into this from the Crypto Basic. XRP army panics as Binance suspended XRP withdrawals via XRP Ledger. And look, I just wanted to highlight this because it's a big nothing. It's already over. And this was largely spread by Edward Farina. Surprise, surprise. Breaking, Binance has suspended the withdrawal of XRP. Get your crypto out of exchanges. Now, look, I'm all good with the message of getting crypto off exchanges. I mean, it's everyone's own individual choice. I don't think it's a good idea to keep crypto on exchange. There are risks with self-custody, obviously, and people don't acknowledge that for some reason. So there are risks no matter what. I think it's way worse to keep crypto on exchange. But there were separate posts, and I don't want to get into it in this video, where he was talking about specific behavior towards XRP. It's a big nothing. Gets a lot of clicks, gets a lot of reposts, I understand. But the truth of the matter is, it just has to do with the fact that wallets undergo maintenance. Sometimes this is normal for Binance. And then for a very brief period, for whatever the cryptocurrency may be, it could be XRP, it could be others, undergoes maintenance, and then you can move your XRP after that, or whatever the crypto may be. I've encountered that many times before. I encountered that back when I could use the original Binance back in 2017 and 2018, before it was no longer allowed in the United States. I use that. All sorts of people in the United States used it way back in the day. It's not uncommon, and stuff like this happens with other exchanges as well. I just don't want it to be whipped up into a frenzy. I get it. It sounds exciting. Attention will be. You will get the attention. People. I get that. But I'd rather live in reality because this is not some sort of big deal here. There's another thing that was whipping people up into a frenzy, and I just want to kind of calm everybody down here because it ended up not being a big deal in the least. Though I understand why people were concerned, and the concern's fair. It's more fair and reasonable to be concerned about this compared to the Binance situation, just in my humble opinion. Here's a post yesterday from the official Ledger support account, and they posted the following. Hey XRP users, we have detected an issue with our backend services for XRP. Our team is on it and looking for a fix. In the meantime, you may not be able to add an XRP account in Ledger Live or send XRP from Ledger Live. Rest assured, this has no effect on your funds. You can connect your Ledger Nano to XRP Toolkit to view and manage your XRP until we push a fix. We should have an update soon. So there you go. And then some people were making the joke. They're like, oh, so the Ledger hardware wallet, it's like a centralized exchange, which is kind of a funny joke, but it's because there's a certain amount of truth to it, but not really, because you do still have control of your funds. And you, like I said here, you can use XRP Toolkit if you wanted to in the meantime, because Ledger Live, that's their software. It was just their software, not your actual account that's being tampered with. So it was ultimately a big nothing, but people understandably were very concerned. I think the concern is reasonable when you're talking about, in many cases, a substantial portion of people's net worth, and that didn't really explain why anything was happening. I can understand why that's alarming. And initially, they didn't really offer an answer, but it was all resolved ultimately, so I just wanted to highlight this. Here you can see XRP Ledger Foundation actually had an update on this, and they wrote, due to a delayed configuration change, those relying on XRPL cluster .com using HTTP post RPC instead of WebSocket transport may have experienced issues connecting to the public full history nodes the past hours. This issue has been solved and monitoring has been improved. Okay, so I'm not going to pretend to know what all the nerd speak means, but this was at the core of the issue, and in fact, this was highlighted here because there was a. Let me see what this one was. Yeah, so Ledger support wrote. This issue has been resolved, and that was reposted also by Witte Wind, and he said, those using Ledger hardware products may have experienced trouble connecting to the XRP Ledger for the past hours. This issue has been resolved thanks to a configuration change at xrplcluster.com, the public XRP Ledger nodes. And so it was a big nothing, and again, I don't blame anybody for being concerned, and I was spreading the message because this is the thing and people should be aware of it. But it's not some sort of disaster or doomsday. It doesn't mean that this in and of itself is not some sort of indication that Ledger hardware wallets are not to be trusted. That's not the case. And again, it was resolved very quickly, actually. But I wanted to mention all this stuff. So there we are. Everybody sleep easy. It's all good. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.